I'm Laura, welcome to my channel if you're new here, and welcome back if you are coming back from another time watching a video. Easter's coming up, and that means that people think it's a good idea to get pet rabbits for their kids. Unfortunately, rabbits don't make great pets for kids for a number of reasons. People tend to think that rabbits are starter pets like goldfish or hamsters, but this couldn't be farther from the truth. Rabbits are really rewarding pets, but they're not great for children, and they take a lot of time, dedication, and patience. If you think you're up for the job, keep on watching and you'll learn how to raise a rabbit, and if you're still not sure, maybe this will help you decide. The first thing to consider when getting a new rabbit is, where are they coming from? Are they being sold illegally on Craigslist? Was it caught from the wild and taken from its mother? Was it a rescue rabbit from an abusive home, so it might have temperament issues that you need to work on as they get older? I personally got my bunny rabbit from a family friend who raised rabbits for 4-H. Also, a really important factor in adopting a rabbit is knowing your rabbit's age. Bunny rabbits need to be kept with their mothers until at least 8 weeks of age. Your rabbit, whenever you adopt it, should have plenty of fur, their eyes should be open, they should be able to hop and move around on their own, and they should be able to eat solid foods, or at least eat foods that are pellets dipped in water. If your bunny is pink, if they have closed eyes, if they're non-responsive, or if they're still drinking their mom's milk, they're way too young and they should stay with their mother until they get old enough to be adopted. Here are some basic facts about rabbits that might be useful to know. Domesticated rabbits can live anywhere from 8 to 12 years. So if you are thinking of adopting a rabbit or several rabbits, know that they're going to be in your family for a really long time. As of 2017, there are 305 different types of rabbits recognized across the entire world. Depending on what kind of rabbit you get, that's going to really impact the cost and the need for food and housing situations. Netherland dwarf rabbits can be, I think, 1 to 2 pounds once they reach maturity, whereas Flemish giant rabbits can reach a minimum weight of 15 pounds. They're huge. So know that the size of your rabbit is really gonna determine how much things cost and how big their housing needs are. Rabbits usually live in huge groups underground in tunnels called warrens. Some people recommend that you get multiple rabbits because rabbits in the wild do live in groups and do well in pairs with families. I have the single rabbit as a pet, and I've personally never experienced a problem. He's never exhibited loneliness. He eats well, he's well taken care of, he seems happy and healthy. So it's really up to you. When you first get your new baby bunny, it's really important to have patience. You are so much bigger than they are, and that's probably going to be really scary for them. They're not like cats and dogs that will likely come up to you immediately. The best thing to do whenever you get a new rabbit is to sit down on the floor in a room with them, block off any areas that you don't want them getting into, and let them come to you. Don't try to play with them, don't try to pet them. Sit for a minute and let them sniff you and check you out, and eventually they'll feel comfortable and they'll come to you on their own. It took a while when I first got my bunny, but after a little while and a lot of patience, he hopped right into my lap and he claimed me as his own, and it was worth the wait. So don't be discouraged if it takes a while. Once your rabbit's comfortable with you, if you're able to get down on their level and get on the floor with them, I highly encourage that you do this. Rabbits naturally love playing with people that are their own size, and they'll feel less intimidated, and if they're comfortable enough, they might even come and groom you and lick your forehead, and it's a sign that they trust you. Rabbits are just like people. Everyone has a different personality. John Watspoon was originally very shy, and he's got the sweetest, most loving, playful little personality, but he can be very sassy when he doesn't want to be messed with. Every rabbit's going to be different. Some are more aloof, some are shy. That's part of the charm of owning a rabbit, is learning all their quirks as you get to know them. Like I said, rabbits will have different personalities, but there are a few traits that all rabbits tend to have in common. First and foremost, they don't like to be picked up. Most rabbits don't like to be picked up, and this is why they don't make great pets for kids who want an animal that they can pick up and cuddle really easily. Rabbits are prey animals, which means that normally in the wild, if they're picked up, that means they're in danger and a predator has them. Rabbits can get hurt really easily if they're trying to jump from your arms from a great height. So unless your rabbit feels comfortable being picked up, I wouldn't recommend that you try it. Number 2, rabbits don't usually make any noise. They're silent animals. The bun snores because he's getting older, but on a day-to-day basis, he's silent. Every now and then, if a rabbit gets really excited and playful, they'll make honking noises to get your attention, but mostly you won't hear any noise out of them. If they're frightened or they're angry, they'll stomp their back feet to get your attention or to warn you that there's danger around. Even though rabbits are nonverbal, their body language will tell you everything you need to know about how they're feeling and what they want to do. A relaxed, happy rabbit is going to stretch its body out, have its back feet out, be really floppy and relaxed. An alert rabbit will have its ears up, or if your rabbit is a Holland lop, like my bunny is, then they'll just twitch from side to side rather than have them fully up like normal rabbits do. A rabbit that feels like it's in danger is going to stand up on its back legs and make boxing motions. A blissed out, really happy rabbit is going to flop over suddenly on its side. The first night I took my bunny home with me after I got him, I came home from work and I thought I had killed him. He was laying on his side and looked very dead, but it turned out that he was just really happy to be home and he was really blissed out and relaxed. So as long as you can see that your bunny is breathing, you don't have anything to worry about. I'll go ahead and add links below to all the charts on bunny body language, what it means, and what you can look out for to make sure that your bunny is happy and healthy. The final thing to know about rabbits is that they are crepuscular. I'll put the dictionary definition on the screen because I don't know how to pronounce it. But that means that they're way more active in the twilight hours, so at dawn or when the sun is going down. So don't be surprised if your rabbit sleeps all day or all night, and then when you're first waking up or first going to bed, it wants to play with you and it's feeling really holly and jolly. Rabbits in general are really calm animals, but their temperaments can change when they reach sexual maturity. In females, this can happen anywhere from 4 to 6 months old, and in males, it usually happens around 3 months old. When this happens, I highly recommend getting your rabbit fixed. When they reach sexual maturity, they tend to become aggressive, wanting to mark their territory, and especially wanting to mate with literally anything around them. This can be both hilarious and really frustrating as a rabbit owner to have an aggressive rabbit who is always marking their territory and trying to mate with your shoes, your pillows, your ankles. So I highly recommend taking a proactive step and getting your rabbit fixed because that usually stops the behavior. Spaying or neutering your rabbit is an absolute must, not only to curb unwanted behaviors, but absolutely for health reasons. Rabbits who aren't fixed can develop health problems at a later date. I know females can have a higher risk of developing certain cancers, so it's a good idea to get them fixed just to be on the safe side. What's really important is finding a respected veterinarian that is willing to work on rabbits. Rabbits are considered exotic animals in a lot of areas, and so finding a respectable vet might be difficult. It's also probably going to be more expensive. When I got John fixed, it took a lot to find a vet that I was comfortable with. The place I was living at the time, I went to the only exotic vet in the area. I asked if he was willing to fix John, and the guy said he might die on the table, but I can give it a shot. So I canceled that appointment and I found a vet out of town that was respectable, knowledgeable, and was way more at ease and was way more comfortable doing the surgery. Don't be afraid to look around if you have to. Just so you know, fixing John was about $200. It's a really expensive procedure, but it's definitely worthwhile. Getting females fixed will cost more because it is an invasive surgery. Obviously, rabbits can get sick just like any other animal. They are prey animals, which means that they are going to hide their illness from you. Rabbits aren't going to limp or cry out in pain if they're uncomfortable. They're going to hide that because they don't want to be seen as weak by predators around them. It's your job to look after your bunny, to pet them daily, to check in on them, to make sure that they're not ill. Make sure that their eyes are clear, that their fur isn't getting matted in any places, that they're hopping okay. Just look out for any signs and symptoms, changes in behavior, and you should be able to stay on top of anything in case they do have an illness. I'll go ahead and link these really useful articles that I found when I was researching how to raise the bun. House Rabbit Society has tons of information. These are not pleasant images. It will show you images of sick rabbits, of wounded animals, so that you'll know what to look for. But this information is important, and it really could help you and your rabbit later on if something does come up. If you have a tiny baby rabbit, it's important to feed them pellets and lots of alfalfa hay so that they get all the nutrients they need. An adult rabbit doesn't need a ton of carrots in their diet. They should have unlimited access to timothy or oat hay at all times. They should have 2 cups of vegetables per 6 pounds of body weight, so maybe 1 cup in the morning and 1 cup at night. And they should have about 1/4 cup of pellets to supplement their diet. Also, rabbits should have access to fresh water at all times. Make sure that the bowls that you're putting their food in are heavy enough to where they can't flip them all over the cages. Rabbits love flipping things over and rearranging things, so don't be surprised if they dump everything out all the time. Just make sure that you get a bowl that's heavy enough so that they can't pick it up too easily. Rabbits can eat anything that humans and horses can eat, so don't be afraid to introduce new vegetables to your rabbit over time. My bun loves chard. We have some in the vegetable garden outside and he's obsessed with it. So he really loves chard, and he loves herbs like mint or basil. If you have the time and the desire, you can definitely just buy treats for your rabbit at the store, but plain old fruit works as well as anything else. The bun loves apples and he loves bananas. Because I live in a house with frisky dogs, currently the living situation for the bun is he is in my room. He has his own cage and he roams free throughout the day. It's recommended that rabbits have at least 12 square feet of space to sleep, hide, go to the bathroom, eat their food, do their daily business, as well as extra space to play, run, jump, and exercise. The most basic guidelines for what a house rabbit should be in size. The width should be the length that it takes your rabbit to lay down, so a minimum of about 2 feet so they can stretch out comfortably. The length should be the amount that it takes for your rabbit to hop fully 3 or 4 times, so that's about 6 feet for smaller rabbits and 8 feet for larger ones. And the height should allow your rabbit to stand up and stretch on its back legs without hitting the top of its cage. There are lots of options for housing your rabbit. You can buy a pre-built cage, which can be expensive. I know a lot of people use the really large dog kennels for a rabbit house. That can work if that's what you need. You can build your own cage like I did. Just keep in mind the dimensions of what you're building. I built the bun's cage on my own. I made the plans and I mocked it up, and I got wire grids, I believe from like a warehouse store, and I got the lumber and the nails and stuff from a hardware store, and I put it all together at like 10 o'clock one night a couple years ago, and it has stood up pretty well since then. So don't be afraid to build your own cage if that's what you need. If you want, I can make a video explaining how I drew up the plans and made the cage on my own. It wasn't difficult to do, you just need kind of some math skills and some ambition at, midnight to get it done, and you should be fine. As you can see, the bun has all of his necessary items in his cage and he can reach them easily. He is litter box trained. That's something that you can do with rabbits. So he has access to his litter box, his food, toys, hay, water, a place to sleep. Normally he has a cardboard box in there so he can hide out and play, but we had to get rid of it because he destroyed it. But that's important, is that your rabbit has a dedicated space that they feel comfortable in so that you can put them away and they will feel safe and like that space is theirs. One thing that's really important to know is that rabbits take a lot of effort in cleaning. Not only do you have to groom them daily, you have to clean out their cage daily. like sweeping pellets, vacuuming them, cleaning out their litter box, making sure they have fresh water, food, etc., taking care of their room cleaning that they're unable to do on their own. I always say that the bun needs to learn to clean his room, but that's not going to happen. Also important is disinfecting things weekly. Rabbits can catch illnesses if they live in a dirty environment, so every week you need to clean out the cage, disinfect it with either like a bleach water solution or a vinegar solution, and make sure that you're wiping everything down and making sure that it's a healthy environment for your rabbit. Rabbits mark their territory frequently, even adult rabbits who have been fixed. It's just a natural instinct that they have, which means that rabbits are going to poop all the time. Frequently. It just falls out of their bodies. Just know this about them. You can have a spotless cage and have a room be perfectly clean. You'll come back 5 minutes later and there's poop everywhere. It's just the nature of owning a rabbit and having an animal in your home. If that's something that's going to discourage you really easily, maybe don't own a rabbit. I know it's really frustrating to put in a lot of effort to disinfect everything, to make sure that everything's spotless and feel really accomplished, and then come back and have everything rearranged, have things tipped over, and have, poop on the floor of their cage. Rabbits are animals. They don't understand you cleaning things. They think that you're invading their space. So don't get discouraged if that's an ongoing battle. That's just part of owning a rabbit. Rabbits need a minimum of 4 hours of exercise per day. John is a house rabbit, so he stays in my room all the time, and I put him up to go to sleep at night. Obviously, he has access to his cage all throughout the day, but he also has access to my entire room. What's really, really, really important if you do have a house rabbit is that you rabbit-proof your house. In the wild, rabbits are constantly cleaning their burrows. They are chewing on roots. They're getting rid of dirt clods. Rabbits don't understand electricity. They don't understand that they are not in a warren, and so they will chew on your lamp cords, on your nice wood furniture. They will dig into your rugs if they have access to it and if they have a lot of pent-up energy. So it's in your best interest, as well as their best interest, to wrap your cords in plastic or to pick them up off the ground where rabbits don't have access to them. Maybe wrap the legs of your furniture in hard plastic or foam so that it's harder for your rabbit to get to them. And maybe put down plastic sheeting or a barrier over carpeted areas that you don't want your rabbit digging into. Obviously, rabbits are really excellent jumpers, so be careful of any things you have on shelves that you don't want them to reach. Maybe get your books out of the way that your rabbits might want to eat. That has been a problem for John in the past. Also, any candy that you have lying around, put that way out of their reach. To stop this kind of behavior, especially if you have a younger rabbit, give them toys, keep them busy, play with them. Rabbits are really playful. They love other people. At least John does. You do have to socialize your rabbit as they age so that they are comfortable with other people, but give them toys, play with them. Toys don't have to be expensive. An excellent toy for a bunny is a cardboard box or tubes that they can crawl into, dig into, rip up. Also, old newspapers, phone books that they can rip up and dig into are really good. Any kind of wooden bird toys that are safe to chew on, or baby toys. The baby rings are great because buns love to toss things up in the air and chase after them. Also, they make hay balls, which are great. Literally just balls made out of Timothy hay that your rabbit can throw in the air, chase after, nibble on, do all sorts of things, and it's very cute to watch them. So you don't have to break the bank keeping your rabbit busy and making toys for them. I'll put links down below to websites that show you how to do your own rabbit toys if you want to do that. Here is a rundown of the cost of what it might be like to adopt, spay, neuter, own, raise a rabbit. And then I'll just put it on the screen. Keep in mind that these calculations are all estimates. If you get your rabbit for free, that will affect the cost. If you have a male or a female, their vet bills might be different whenever you get them spayed or neutered. Also, the age of your rabbit. If you adopt an older rabbit, they might have more medical care issues than a younger rabbit. Also, baby bunnies will have a different initial cost of food than older rabbits because they don't eat as much and you won't need to replenish the food as often. Keep in mind that these calculations are assuming that you're paying for everything from scratch on your own. The cost is going to be different if you get a rabbit for free, if you have a vegetable garden where you're getting all of your rabbits' nutrients from, and if you have someone that knows how to build hutches or cages for rabbits who's willing to help you with that and give you the supplies needed. I have barely scratched the surface of becoming a rabbit pet owner. If your children are a little bit older and want to learn some responsibilities, this might be a good pet for them, but I wouldn't recommend them for younger children who want a cuddly animal that they can pick up and roughhouse. Rabbits need a lot of patience because they are silent and you need to become familiar with their body language. They're very subtle animals, but they are incredibly rewarding pets if you have the time, the patience, and the desire to take care of them. Feel free, if you have any questions or comments, to ask them below in the comment section. I'll do what I can. I've had John for about 4 or 5 years now, which is crazy. This is the first rabbit that I've ever owned, and he is an absolute delight, and I'm obsessed with him, and I'm so happy that I got him as a pet. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.